Welcome to Brands Hatch for the final rounds of the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championships. Now we've got a huge amount of racing coming your way, so let's head straight over to commentary then for race 1.
A new qualifying record for Aaron Thompson, who lines up on pole from Tom Grundy. Michael Higgs third and Sam Watkins in fourth place. Jess King fifth, then Nathan Edwards, Connor Grady and Elliot Wilson, followed by Alexander Tate and Cameron Pugh. A very warm welcome to the championship for Connor Grady in car number 8. Comes from Smallfield, and he's looking at racing with us again next year. Green flag from the back of the field, but Aaron Thompson, who set the qualifying record, starts on pole. Nerves are going to be paramount on this start. Thompson gets away well. To his outside, it's Tom Grundy, and Grundy's going up side by side with him into paddock. It's a very, very tight start. They've got Michael Higgs, Thompson's teammate in blue, running in third place, but Aaron Thompson held his nerve. He had an off on the outlap. He had a spin on the outlap, but I tell you what, that could have been very high on his mind there at the start, but he held his nerve and went through. 8.99 going through. 8's Connor Grady, 99 Alexander Tate. Good to see both of those guys with us. Connor Grady making his debut, as we mentioned. There's Jess King in the white WDE Motorsport car. So in car with Alex Tate. You can see the sun low in the sky. We're late on Saturday afternoon here, 2-day meeting. One race for the juniors today as part of the Formula Ford Festival. Another race tomorrow. I think it's a good decision by the organisers, because it means that if there's any work to do on the cars overnight, there'll be plenty of time for the teams to sort it out, and lots of debrief time as well for the youngsters that are racing here. In car with Nathan Edwards, 100% finish record thus far this year. Turns into paddock. Oh, and he's working the wheels, going around. Edwards spins and he's off into the gravel. That is going to be, I tell you what, the curse of the commentator. He won't thank me for that. He's got a 100% finishing record, and that has just gone down the Swan. It would have been lovely to see him go right through the card this year with a complete set of finishes. I think he was the only driver to have had that record. Jerry Nicosia did. He's not racing here. We'll talk about Jerry and Rob Cox a little bit later on when we get a minute to do so, as we look at Sam Watkins chasing Michael Higgs. At the moment it's Tom Grundy in second position chasing Aaron Thompson. So the WDE Motorsport car currently in fourth place. Watkins and safety car being brought out to recover the first retirement of the year for Nathan Edwards. That is such a shame. Lap 2 claiming Nathan's first and hopefully only non-finish of the season. There is the car in the gravel. He will bounce back from that because he's very, very resilient. But it's Aaron Thompson, the 15-year-old, turned 15 on the 1st of May this year, who leads the race. And he will form up behind the safety car, which has now gone in, and we're ready to race. At Brands Hatch, Aaron Thompson could have been under pressure again, but he's dealt with the start well. So Thompson leads, Thomas Grundy second, Michael Higgs in third place, Sam Watkins fourth position. Then it's Jess King. It's going to be her last weekend as a junior racer. She'll have to move on into senior formula if she's going to continue her racing, and we very much hope that she does so and joins the likes of JJ Ross, who's got into senior racing, Rory Collingbourne, who's racing in the STs this weekend with JJ Ross, as the cars go into the sun, greeted by waved green flags right the way around the circuit for this 20-minute race. Of course, most of the drivers, and I mentioned here as we look at Sam Watkins that we are missing Jerry Nicosia and Rob Cox. Now, Rob, of course, led the championship for a long time. Jerry Nicosia sewed it up last time at Rockingham. He has now retired from Fiesta Juniors. He's looking at running in the Ginetta Junior Championship next year, making plans to run in their Winter Championship. Rob Cox was going to race here this weekend. He was talking about making a senior debut in the senior STs, but he's going to save the money, he tells me, for a test in another senior formula. More of that if you watch the Motorsport Press. But Michael Higgs really gunning for second place. He wants to get past the Daniels Motorsport prepared car and get on terms with the Jamsport teammate Aaron Thompson, who's up front. Look at the sun in the eyes for Sam Watkins. It's the same for all the drivers, but difficult conditions here. Watkins chasing hard. He wants to try and get up onto a podium position. I wonder if Michael Higgs past the Falston Centre and around Clark Curve and onto the Brabham Straight. The sun now firmly behind us. They'll pick up the pit signals. Higgs is looking wide. We've seen that car shared over the course of the season. You might remember Michael taking a win in round 4 of the championship at Snetterton. Michael taking fastest lap at Anglesey as well. And the success with the drivers we've got in the championship here, although he's lost Rob Cox and Jerry Nicosia, as Higgs goes through and takes second position, but it's still side by side for that. And hanging on to it is Tom Grundy in 43, but he slips momentarily behind, dives back down the inside at Graham Hill Bend. Higgs is on the outside, mindful of the track limits. I tell you what, the youngsters here could give a few lessons to the older guys, because they were really respectful of the track limits there. And fantastic piece of racing from the juniors. And it's Tom Grundy that re-emerges in second place. Michael Higgs is there in third, and Sam Watkins still in fourth. Jess King's got onto them as well. You can see how well Jess King has progressed over the course of the season, up with these guys now, and effectively challenging for a podium position, Jessica King. And that's exactly what this formula is about, giving everybody confidence. Loads of tutelage available in the paddock. If you're a teenager watching this, don't tell your mum and dad, but you can come into this. It's very cost-effective racing. If you haven't raced anything before, this is the place to come, because we've got loads of teams that can coach you, lots of the very best driver coaches. You mentioned that Jerry Nicosia was being coached by former British Touring Car champion Chris Hodgetts. We've got the likes of Phil Glue, former Clio champion, who coaches some of the drivers in the championship. As Watkins looks up the inside of Higgs, they're going to touch. They do, very lightly. And a little tap again on the outside line from Higgs. He's going to have the inside line down into Graham Hill Bend and maintains third place. This is superb racing from the juniors. And as I said, teaching some of the older boys a little bit of a lesson here. And the sooner these guys graduate and start teaching the likes of Neil and Plato a lesson or two in touring cars, the better for my money. Watkins challenging hard. This is clean, fair racing thus far. Nobody's been punted off. Just the one retiree thus far, which is Nathan Edwards. 20-minute race as ever for the juniors. Aaron Thompson, I can tell you, has set the fastest lap of the race, which he improved on lap 9, 57.215, which I think is a new lap record as well. So the Jamsport team will be very, very happy with his performance, and they'll be egging that third place car on, the blue machine of Michael Higgs, to possibly make it a 1-2. But at the moment, the Daniels Motorsport car of Tom Grundy is there. And I tell you what, this is a close run thing, because Sam Watkins is going for the burn up round the outside. Jessica King realises that podium might be edging closer as well, and she latches herself onto the back end of the young Welshman Samuel Watkins. Loses a little bit of ground through Graham Hill Bend along Cooper Straight. A 4-car scrapped for second place. This is wonderful racing. Well, when I heard that the top two drivers, well, Rob Cox wasn't second in the championship but led for a long, when I heard that Cox and Nicosia were moving on, you know, you wonder what the races are going to be like. And we've got double figure entry here, which is absolutely superb, and 4 cars all dicing for second place. You could not ask for more as they go on to the last lap. It's Aaron Thompson still out front, and he's built a huge lead. He's 6 seconds clear of Tom Grundy in second in 43. Michael Higgs is piling the pressure on. Bottom of the hill, climb up Haywards into Druids. He comes offline, looks at the inside into Druids, but there isn't room, and Higgs will have to stay in third place for the moment. He's going to have to regroup and work out if there's another point on the circuit where he can pass. Down into Graham Hill Bend, Tom Grundy in 43. The older of the two drivers comes from Street. As we go back to Aaron Thompson, just 15, comes from Romford. His mum will be watching on the just past the start finish line. His dad Steve's going to be on the pit wall tending the car this weekend with the Jam Sport boys, but he's got his hand out of the window already, and it's a win for Aaron Thompson, his third win of the season, lap record to boot. Tom Grundy is going to take second position. There is Tom with lights ablaze. Michael Higgs completes the podium in third place ahead of Sam Watkins. That was a really great way to open the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship here at Brands Hatch, our first of two races, the last event of the season. Thompson the winner and fastest lap from Grundy. Higgs third, Sam Watkins fourth from Jessica King, then Connor Grady, Alexander Tate in seventh from Cameron Pugh, and Elliot Wilson in ninth.
Aaron, a great win.
Yeah, it was good to be able to break the qualifying lap record and get my first ever pole, to then go from lights to flag with a, I believe, 7-second gap. I'm really happy with that.
And that must set you up very nicely for the next race.
Yeah, it's given me a lot more confidence. I'm not as nervous as this morning. But a race is a race. I mean, you can have a plan that will go out in the first corner. I mean, I think if Grundy and Higgs start battling, I will just try and get my head down. And it's all about paddock and Druids. If we all get past there cleanly, it'll be a good race.
Tom, second place, a great race for you as well. What a battle.
Yeah, with Michael, it wasn't clean, but there was contact, but not too much, and it was just a nice race.
You guys always seem to throw out a lot of excitement as well. Like you say, a clean race, but a hard race.
Yeah, we had a hard race. Both of us had a bit of damage at the end, but nothing too bad.
Well, Michael, a great third place for you.
Yeah, it'll be great to start off the grid again. I'll be behind Aaron, so on the inside, and we should get a good start from there.
You've had a strange season as well. Talking to Aaron earlier on, you've both kind of been fighting, and some good results and some not so good.
Yeah, at Cadwell I was leading the race by about 12 seconds, and that would have really helped me, that result in the end, but the engine went, and that's sort of where I've now had to sort of fight for my place and try and pick up the points where I'm going along.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch, race 2 for the BRSCC Fiesta Juniors. Aaron Thompson starts on pole with Tom Grundy alongside, then it's Michael Higgs and Sam Watkins. Jessica King is 5th, it's Connor Grady to her outside, then Alexander Tate and Cameron Pugh, Elliot Wilson and Nathan Edwards completing the grid. 20 minutes of junior action, this is the last race of the year. Aaron Thompson makes a great start, so too from row 2 does Michael Higgs, who's looking up the inside of Tom Grundy and takes second position. Wonderful start from row 2. They're all fighting it out as they go down through paddock. 43, Tom Grundy in third position, followed by Sam Watkins in fourth, but it's Aaron Thompson who leads this one. His teammates got a clear run, but so too up the inside has Tom Grundy in 43. Michael Higgs has got the outside line out of Druids, but that converts to the inside at Graham Hill Bend, and he grabs second position. This is exactly what Aaron Thompson wanted, a squabble behind him so that he could put in those laps. He got the fastest lap, new lap record in race number 1, 57.215, and he leads, goes through shot, the dark white and blue car. So Sam Watkins chasing, in car with Alex Tate, car number 99, the 15-year-old from Sheffield, in fact 16 years of age now, 16 on the 12th of October. The festival, as is traditional, running the last weekend. Oh, problems for Tate coming into paddock and facing the wrong way. Nasty moment for him and his parents who'll be watching. He's in the gravel. It looks like game over after one lap for Alexander Tate. He's absolutely furious with himself. It's going to scramble the safety car, and that's going to pile the pressure on Aaron Thompson. He did have some pressure from Michael Higgs before that. So Alex Tate, who's done some auto testing and soloing before coming into the championship, hopefully he'll be back with us next year. A great place to learn your skills in motor racing, and certainly Aaron Thompson's finding it good. We'll see how Aaron takes the restart. The safety car pulls in. You can see Michael Higgs is chomping at the bit to get the race underway as well. And Aaron Thompson is dictating his own pace here, and he's entitled to do that as the race leader. So it's the two Jam Sport cars. There's going to be is there a pass for third place? They shouldn't do it before they go to the line. There wasn't a pass, but very clearly notice of intent from Sam Watkins to look around the outside of Tom Grundy, who's currently there in third. You saw the recovered car of Alex Tate off on the infield. Thompson wide into Druids. He's trying to do a racing line into Druids that will give him more speed on the way out. If he gets overly defensive, he'll slow himself up, and of course that will mean more of an attack from the 34 car of Michael Higgs, who's chasing him currently along Cooper Straight. The car's being greeted by the green flags to signify the end of the safety car period here. Well, Thompson has held his nerve there, and he's looking for his 4th win of the season. A double at Brands Hatch, which is his home circuit, will go down very well indeed with the youngster who set the record of being the youngest driver to start a motor race. I know I've told you that before, but remember last year, 14th birthday, was on race day at Silverstone. He couldn't qualify because he wasn't of age. He was 13 on qualifying day and took to the grid just doing a few laps around the circuit. He's done some karting in his time, Aaron, and started in 2006 with his karting experience, and he's leading this one. And it's good news for him that Tom Grundy is keeping the pressure on Michael Higgs. So it was Higgs who finished third in race number 1, who thus far has got one better in car with Sam Watkins looking at the back end of Thomas Grundy's machine. So this the car challenging for third position. Sam Watkins, the youngster from Wales, backed by Heronston Lodges, joined last year at Brands Hatch with 9th and 7th place. So you can see that this is exactly what they're meant to do: move up the order, move up the grid, gain more experience, edge towards those all-important race wins. Watkins, of course, won at Silverstone, had fastest lap there as well. And we've got a lot of experience in this field now of drivers that have taken fastest laps, that have taken race wins throughout the year. And we mentioned Jerry Nicosier and Rob Cox being the championship winner and the man who led the championship respectively early on in the season. They've taken plenty of wins, but there's also a lot of experience left in this championship. Thompson clear at the moment. Still this big scrap on for third. One gets the impression that Michael Higgs not really under pressure at the moment in second place. Tom Grundy still there in third, the Daniels Motorsport prepared car. Then it's the WDE car, WDE, Wayne Eason's team. Wayne, who'll be racing his truck here next week in the British Truck Racing Association Championship, very much involved in racing. Jessica King goes through, followed by Connor Grady, the M&H transport machine, who's raced in cadets and done lots of karting. And behind him, Nathan Edwards, who had his first non-finish of the year in race number 1, and Nathan's making some progress. Connor Grady's apparently going to be racing in the Ginetta Junior Championship next year, so switching between front-wheel drive here in the Fiestas, also racing the rear-wheel drive Ginetta Juniors. He's going to be getting loads of experience of both configurations, which is going to be good for him. And at the moment, Connor is busy chasing Jessica King, see if he can make up some progress. Connor Grady, best lap in race number 1, a 58.923, and this one he's down into the 58s. And again, to make the point, you're looking in your first meetings to just get those lap times down, and Connor very definitely heading the right way. Aaron Thompson still in front through paddock. Michael Higgs second position, I think maybe getting closer. Thompson still got the fastest lap of the race, that was on lap 7. So Thompson here looking perhaps for a double in front of a good crowd. A great place to win a junior race, the festival meeting, and if you can come away with 2 wins, so much the better. But Higgs is starting to close in, so Michael Higgs putting the pressure on Aaron Thompson. Still got this great scrap for third between Tom Grundy, who's still there in third place. Sam Watkins is fourth, and any one of these 4 drivers could still be within a shout of taking the race win. Tom Grundy with his lights on in third, takes a wide line here, and up the inside now comes the 24 machine. Sam Watkins is trying to get up onto the podium. They're close, they touch, look at the mirror's gone for a Burton. They're still touching, bang, bang. This could go into the pit wall if we're not careful. I tell you what, the Welshman wants, he's going to try and come through. Grundy goes through, back in front, the car stepping out. Is he going to hang on to it? Yes, he does. Great piece of driving. You can see why we call this a touring car preparation formula. I thought that was going to end in tears there. Wonderful driving from the pair, really getting stuck in. I'm sure the dads will have words after seeing that footage on the TV. They probably saw it for themselves on the track, but it's Thompson still leading, and we go back to Thompson and Higgs. So Aaron Thompson still out front. Tom Grundy holding on to that third. That battle, you can see how that's a really graphic example of how when you get two cars battling hard, they slow each other up. The lead pair have got away, and not to say that the lead pair aren't fast anyway, of course they are, because they're at the front of the race, but it just goes to show how much the others have dropped away because they were battling hard with each other. Aaron Thompson on to the last lap here at Brands Hatch. He's got a good lead over Michael Higgs. Not good enough that he can coast by any means, but he goes through paddock, down to the bottom of the hill, up Halewards towards Druids. Michael Higgs chasing hard. It seems like we've lost Tom Grundy from third place, because it was Sam Watkins in third at the back of Shot. Here they come down the hill. Michael Higgs is closing up. Now has Aaron Thompson got a problem, because Michael Higgs has closed up a huge amount of gap on the last lap along Cooper Straight. Is he going to have a look at Surtees? He's staying on line, loses a bit of ground. It's almost as if Thompson's had the wake-up call and he's pulled the gap back again. Up into Clearways they come. Thompson seems to have responded to that, and Aaron Thompson will lead through Clark Curve and onto the Brabham Straight, but his teammates all over the back of him. Michael Higgs, is he going to come out of the slipstream? It's going to be Aaron Thompson to make it a double here at Brands Hatch. 4 wins in the season for Thompson. Michael Higgs takes second. That's also second position in the championship. Tom Grundy will finish third in the championship. He sadly has non-finished. We lost him after 15 laps of the race. But Brands Hatch, the Formula Ford Festival, double win for Aaron Thompson. Michael Higgs second, Sam Watkins in third ahead of Jessica King, Connor Grady in fifth place from Nathan Edwards, and Elliot Wilson in seventh. Fastest lap to Aaron Thompson.
Aaron, that was a strange race. You were leading all the way, but a few wobbles along the way.
This weekend has been a great one. Pole position, 2 wins, and to do it with such a great team and such a great community. I'm proud to call myself a GemSport driver, and I'm proud to say I'm in Fiesta Juniors.
But it's great to have the endorsement from you guys as well. I mean, yourself and Michael were really fighting.
Yeah, me and Mark have been good friends from the start, and this year we're fortunate enough to be teammates in GemSport. And races like that show that even though we're in a team, even though we're both fighting for a win and for a championship, we can race cleanly, and there was no contact at all during that race.
Well, Jerry, you didn't race here today, but you are the champion, so we thought we'd grab a few words from you.
I'm just really pleased to have won the championship. At the start of the season, it was more of an aspiration than a realistic thing, but we just started picking up some good results, and then bit by bit we got more confident, and then next thing I know, we'd won.
And you're watching a race from the outside of the car for once. What's it like?
It's quite strange because I know the drivers and I know what they're thinking, and it's really weird to watch, but they were 2 exciting races, and I'm just pleased to be here to support the championship.
And the standard that you guys produce as well, you're so strong, all of you.
Yeah, it's a really close field, and you can never tell what's going to happen, never tell who's going to win, and anything can happen.
Yeah, well, Jerry, congratulations, well done, an amazing championship.
Thank you.